what I do for a podcast.
Yeah, walk a little bit closer. Because I think I'm closer than you are. Okay.
Welcome, guys. This is a new nature edition of podcast. We're outside.
Yeah, and we're orbiting. Because for some reason this is what we do.
Yep.
I think it helps to think, to move at the same time.
Yeah, why not have a active podcast today? Some people ride their bikes and podcast and video blog. It's a nice change, Brian.
Yeah.
So the weather's totally different here than it is in other countries, where primarily you live in a different country.
The weather's different depending on where you go on the globe, not by the country.
I think you're right.
I always think that's the most ridiculous question when somebody is like, is it, like, if it's really hot today, somebody will say, is it hot in America? I'm like, what a stupid question. There's so many different parts of America. Even within tiny countries, there are colder and hotter spots.
Yeah.
Like the top of the mountain is always really cold.
I think that I'm experiencing that more and more the more I meet people.
But to answer your question, Wuhan is pretty much the same climate as DC, like swampy, wet, hot, very, very hot.
That's a huge coincidence.
What?
That's a huge coincidence.
It is. It is. I can't tell which place rains more. I could probably answer it with a Google search. I don't know why I haven't, because I've been asking myself this question for like over 2 years. But
what's the question?
Where it rains more, Wuhan or around here in Maryland?
Oh. Well, you live right next to a lake.
No, river.
River? Rivers are bigger than lakes, right?
Well, one's a standing body and one's a flowing body. So it's not really a question you can answer. Like, which one's bigger? Doesn't make sense.
More surface area?
There can be much larger lakes than rivers, I suppose, yes. The Yangtze River, which is the one that goes through Wuhan, is incredibly wide.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a noticeably long car ride across the bridge. Like, you wouldn't want to swim it. You could if you like depended on it, but that wouldn't be like a casual swim.
Yeah.
But I can't tell where it rains more because there's flooding in both places. The flooding in Wuhan seems more apocalyptic, but I think that's because it's like in a dense city environment. There's nowhere for the water to go. It's in concrete everywhere, you know, and the infrastructure is so bad, and so the flooding is really horrendous. Like people dying, lots of people dying, you know, buildings collapsing, kind of flooding.
It's horrible.
So my first year there, they had to evacuate lots of people because I think over 100 people died.
Wow.
During the rainy season, just in my city.
Have you seen any gas stations exploding?
Not like with my own eyes, but yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just in general?
Or
in China?
I didn't want to be like generalize China, but there's a lot of Chinese gas stations exploding.
Well, I haven't heard about any gas stations exploding. So why don't you tell me about it?
There was one on YouTube of like 1 or 2 of them exploding, and apparently it was like a frequent leak or something.
Well, you know, shit happens. There's not a lot of regulation there, not a lot of oversight. So, you know, something like that's conceivable.
How safe?
Their gas stations are strange though because they're not like pumping a liquid into their car.
Why? What is it? What do you mean?
Instead of going to the gas cap, which every car has, they open the hood and they have this like I don't know, this huge cable, like it looks like a small hose, connected to this like long metal device, and it sounds like they're shooting compressed air out of it, and it just plugs into like this thing under the hood. These are all the taxi cars, because sometimes you get unlucky and get into a taxi that's almost out of gas, and he stops in a gas station. You gotta sit there for a while. But they plug this shit in, and they open all the doors and the trunk because they're worried about gas getting out and exploding, getting trapped somewhere. And then they go about their business. I've never ever seen them put gas into the gas tank. So maybe that's like a different thing. I don't know. But I've never seen that in America.
Is it self-service?
Nope. Somebody's there and they do it. Ooh. For some reason that direction is making me dizzy. I like the idea of this orbiting, but definitely bad for the knees. Maybe we should build a contraption that orbits us. Like a
carousel?
Yeah, like scrambled eggs or something like that.
What's scrambled eggs?
You know that ride where you're like, it's 3 benches connected in a circle?
Yeah, and you're hopping and shit?
No, you sit down in your bench, and your 3 benches spin, and then the machine has 3 groups of 3, and the machine spins as well, relative to you spinning.
Like this?
Some of them have that, but I'm referring to the one where you're just in a seat, like with like a bench. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And there's another bench here, and another bench here, and then you're spinning, and then the machine is spinning while you're spinning the other direction. As the machine. To replicate it, we could continue orbiting like we're orbiting now, clockwise, and then spin counterclockwise as we orbit. Spin your body counterclockwise as you're walking around in a circle clockwise. And this would be like the scrambled eggs effect.
Is that the scientific term?
I think that's just the name of it on Roller Coaster Tycoon. Which I've been playing, and I forgot that, or maybe I just don't know. Is there no like just free play, free build? You just have to do the campaign missions?
I never played. Well,
maybe I'm playing a weird version of it, but I got it off again Steam for like some preposterous amount of money, like 1 cent. Say you can buy this, and this game for 10% of 1 penny.
I never asked you this question. How is your day going?
Today?
In the past like 2 weeks. I always say what's up, but I'm like, I never said how was your day.
Blowing out the knees, walking in circles. I'm not used to it.
Did your knees just like click?
Yeah, they click a lot.
You can actually
Do the Asian squat?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that from practice in
For
Asia?
3 years, yeah. 3 years in China, I can do the Asian squat. Do it.
Oh, but you did it wide. Like
Not
that?
too wide. That's too wide. You're not gonna be able to go all the way down. You need to go much closer together. Yeah. No, just keep going down. Keep going. Ass to grass.
Ass to grass.
Still don't have great balance.
I feel like you're in pain.
You know, I was for years and years. Now it just feels like a stretch. Now it just feels like a mild stretch. Oh, down there. I still get a little bit of pinching in the front of the hips, but that's starting to go away. Less and less. Back in the day, man, I still hold the wall when I go to the public bathroom in China, just because the public bathrooms are like a fucking war zone, man. Sometimes you get into a public bathroom in China and you're like, I literally cannot believe what I'm seeing.
They're just opening, trying to open the door.
No, like you're lucky if there are doors. Oh, and if you're in a bar, like a a bar restroom at night on a packed night is going to be one of the most horrible. It's gonna instantly be in your top 3 of worst things you've ever seen, and you can't unsee. And you're there physically, like you're stepping through the half-inch of ooze on the ground. That ooze is just like vomit and stomach bile and piss and shit and everything you can imagine. And so I don't want to fall in that. So I still throw one hand back and I hold the wall when I squat over the toilet, just to be extra safe. I don't want to fall into my own shit.
Do they have toilets or do they have the squatters?
The squatters. I shouldn't have said toilet. Yeah, it's just a hole in the ground. It's like a porcelain hole.
How about your apartment bathroom?
Actual toilet. Real toilet. Quote unquote Western toilet. It's reversed.
Is that strange to some people?
I suppose to some people, yes. No one I know. But in a lot of public restrooms, they'll have a picture of a guy squatting, like Asian squatting.
Yeah.
But on top of the toilet seat.
Yeah.
And then they'll have a red circle around it and a red slash through it, like don't do this. And then like a picture of a guy next to it sitting on the toilet seat, and then it's like a check mark. So, happens enough to have
confusion.
To require an illustration. I'm glad that there's bats out here eating all the bugs, but they shit a lot and they keep flying over us. It's dangerous. We're right in the bombing path here.
Yeah, there was like a red liquid on my window. I thought it was blood, but it's just berries from birds eating berries.
Berry murder?
Birds murdering berries.
My God.
That's a tongue twister.
Birds murdering berries.
Birds murdering berries. So slowly and slowly, the airports are fixing their Boeings.
What are you talking about?
They're fixing their airplanes.
This rotation is too small. I'm getting dizzy as shit. Move back.
We're just rotating over the phone in a circle.
Just walking in a circle.
Oh my God, and a bug just like wanted to fly into my hand.
You eat them?
No.
Oh man, that's some good protein.
I had my protein for today. I had pizza.
That was a glow bug too. It'd make you strong. Give you superpowers.
It felt huge. It felt like a bird. Today's a good day. Nothing to complain about.
Yeah, it's always a good day, man. No news is good news. You know, days like today, I wish I already knew how to play the guitar and I wasn't learning still. Because it would be so nice to just chill out and fucking just jam.
I don't know if I would be your friend if you already know how to play the guitar.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Too douchey?
Yeah.
You have to experience me failing for a couple of years and then you'll accept that I can play.
Yeah. You have to struggle like the rest of us. He's normal.
It's super difficult.
I think we have normal friends. We're not too amazing at one subject.
How does it feel knowing that you're the worst World of Warcraft player?
I am not the worst World of Warcraft player. Probably the worst druid.
You're good with the rogue.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with the rogue.
That rogue is so OP.
So nasty.
Rogue, Imba, nerf.
No, don't nerf. They're gonna nerf. They're gonna want to nerf Shadowy Duel or
So
something.
you need to nerf. This is the patch progression. About half a dozen mage nerfs, and then a rogue nerf. Probably a Death Knight buff.
They literally
Death
keep
Knights.
buffing all the other classes.
Like what? I haven't been paying attention. I haven't been paying attention to the class notes.
I can't name it off the top of my head, but they keep increasing all these other classes. Warriors took a hit. They got nerfed. They think Fury is amazing right now. I just don't believe it.
The game just needs more specialization. I hate the idea that everyone can be top DPS if you got the best gear.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like everybody can heal. We were in a fucking battleground a little while ago with my mage, and I said I did 20,000 healing. Oh my god, how the fuck? I swear I didn't cast one healing spell. How did I get 20,000 healing done?
Well, I bandaged you like a couple times in that battleground.
So that counts as me doing healing?
I think so.
Maybe potions do as well.
Yeah, no, definitely potions too.
That shouldn't even count. Why is that counting? Anyway, doesn't matter.
I was gonna say something. While raiding a Legion, I got smashed by this guy from a different server. And it was a pug group for the raid.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, he was on like the server Illidan or something. It's like super popular, or like super really famous and famous for raiding.
Really?
This guy had less gear than me, lower level gear than me, and he was just doubling my DPS. It seemed like he was doing the same thing I was doing, but for some reason his DPS was double than mine, which doesn't make sense. I know the rotation.
What about that 110 that smashed us?
I don't know.
We destroyed that paladin and that warrior. He was a warrior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he smashed us both and he only took like 10% health damage.
I didn't tell you, but I attacked a rogue in the leveling area that we are at, in Pandaria.
Yeah.
I couldn't kill him.
What level was he? Was he skull?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was just the items of the 110, honestly.
I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised that we could kill that paladin. You said he had 110 armor, right? You're absolutely certain he was 110?
It looked like it, yeah.
You sure it wasn't just transmog? You said you inspected him, right?
I didn't expect him.
Okay.
I looked at him.
So he could have just been 10 levels above us. So he could have been like 96 or 97 or something like that.
I don't know.
I do wish the
Possibly.
guards, the city guards, got a buff. I wish they weren't useless, you know? They should get some kind of... They should get something that players don't have because they're players. Like that thing I was telling you. You know how there's no way for you to stop a player from running through you, through your character, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a ability they should give the guards. Because obviously players would just abuse it. You can't give it to, can't give that to people. But you should give that to guards and give them that as an ability. And then use that for crowd control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So can you imagine now where they are, you know, attacking Ironforge, let's say.
Uh-huh.
And let's say they come from the front door. Once they're in, you sound alarms, and then the dwarves, the guards, go into like defensive formations to like shield wall areas, like hallways and passages into the Great Forge.
Yeah.
And when you get to that shield wall, either you can use an ability to jump over it, like maybe you can blink behind it, or you can, like the demon hunters have a jump ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like this.
Yeah.
Or you can just kill the guys there. But while they're in the shield wall, they should get like a buff, like minus 80% physical damage or something like that. Minus 40% magical damage. Or direct damage. I don't know.
That's pretty awesome. That's a good idea.
They should have something like that. Something simple like that. But like, of course, allied players can just run right through the wall. Something like that would make the game so much more interactive and fun. They should have a whole team developing features like that, where the world responds to what the players are doing. Oh, and by the way, I was in Ironforge like an hour later. Everything had just respawned. There was nothing, no difference to it at all. There's absolutely nothing that would even tell you that the entire place was demolished an hour ago.
You said in the past. You said in the past it would be on fire.
I remember in vanilla, Stormwind got raided, and the whole place would be wrecked for a little while. Shit would be all fucked up. Things would be on fire, and then it would like reset after a little while. I think it should stay fucked up for a long time. Or it should stay damaged until the players repair it. You give like a global materials goal for players to meet, and then it gets repaired. I don't know. Just spitballing. What about instead of giving the players garrisons, you just allow the players to upgrade what the game already has? So like, you know how Stormwind is like a fortress now in the game?
Yeah.
Imagine if all those new troops and griffins flying around and like the elite guards and stuff. What if all of that was just upgrades that the players would fund with donated materials to like a Stormwind upgrade or something like that? So that you can bring the ultimate goal should be that you can make the city so defensible that like the goal should be, since we can have a maximum of 40 people in a single raid, if they have full upgrades, you absolutely have to bring 40 people.
Yeah, make the game a little harder.
Yeah, much harder. And make there a reason for them to upgrade it. And then during that, if you destroy the whole city, during that time, that city, most of the features in the city shouldn't be available. If, let's say, you kill the king, then the city should go into a state of, like, ruin, I guess, like it used to. And most of the features shouldn't be available. Like the auction house, the bank, all of the quality of life features. Maybe the mail will still work, that's about it. Mail, flight masters, maybe. And you have to pay resources, materials, to get it back up to normal condition where everything's functioning. How does that sound?
What if rogues had mail?
Had what?
Mail armor.
You've been saying that for years. Hey man, I think they should allow mages to wear plate. You know, have you seen my mage when he's not wearing his dress? Alright, he's ripped. Why doesn't he just wear a fucking plate? Why doesn't he just wear paladin, like, holy armor? It's just like all intelligence, right?
Yeah. And a little bit of strength.
My rogue's super strong. Or my mage, I mean.
Tanking abilities. Off the charts.
Warriors wish they had ice barrier.
So now playing a little bit, what's more fun, leveling or like through quests, or do dungeons and PvP?
Well, you know, I still haven't really learned how to play my mage at all, and I'm still pretty put off by the numbers that I'm seeing when I PvP. You know, when I hit somebody with like a 200 damage frostball, I'm like, I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Like, you can't mean for me to kill somebody with that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I'm not too excited about PvP yet. I think I'll probably, until I hit max level with my mage, I'll probably leave the PvP to its wings. I'll start buying them the heirlooms that they need.
Yeah.
And then I'll try to get the best in slots for the non-heirloom slots. And PvP with them.
Yeah. I was gonna say you can have fun doing PvP with your mage, and then
Nah,
when
we just get annihilated. Like my mage just gets like killed instantly, basically.
yeah,
So
but
I still am so unfamiliar with what I'm doing with them. Constantly misclicking, constantly, you know, making obvious mistakes. So.
but you played so few rounds of it.
Yeah, I know. There's no pressure. I mean, I've only been playing for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
But getting marks of honor and then getting a nice set of gear at a certain level would definitely help.
That would help. I agree. I should do more battlegrounds for that reason.
And save it for like level 90 or
120.
Well, no. Marks of Honor is only for legacy PvP gear.
So up to 110?
Yeah, up to 110.
Okay. So I could get a full 110 set of PvP gear.
No. Oh, sorry, no. Level 100 actually.
Okay.
At level 110, you just do dungeon PvP, and it drops randomly.
Like in the battleground?
Yeah.
What? I don't want to be looking for loot while I'm killing people.
No. It would drop at the end of the PvP round.
I see. And maybe you get it, maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
It's more RNG at level 110.
I thought you meant you're like looting people.
No.
I really want to finish this epic battle, but this guy might be holding purples. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, I'm dead. Got nothing in that.
Whatever makes you have fun with the game and the mage, honestly. If you don't, it does help you level though. If you see that being a thing, then yeah, definitely. But if you want to stick with just doing dungeons or questing,
I think the best would be very occasionally a dungeon. Because I hate repeating dungeons.
Yeah.
Mostly questing a significant amount of PvP. That's how I like to level.
Yeah.
Like maybe 30% PvP, 10% dungeon, 60% questing. Anyway, another suggestion I just thought of for Blizzard, if you're listening, have a timer where once you attack a city, and let's say you get within a certain point of the city where the city is now considering you a threat to the king, a timer starts where reinforcements will arrive from the other cities.
That's a good idea.
You know, since Ironforge and Stormwind are right next to each other, let's say 5 minutes, 8 minutes, something like that. And then like, let's say
About
12 minutes for Darnassus. They're all using mages to teleport though, so I mean it would be like instant in reality. But that would be cool, right?
Yeah.
And I mean like a serious force. Like dozens of NPCs, really strong ones. Like basically adding another whole boss unit to the game, to the fight.
You have really good ideas.
Oh, thank you very much. And then when you kill the king, when you kill the leaders of a city, the city goes into ruin. Something should be taken from the enemy. And I think instead of actually taking something, it's better to give something and then take it away in that situation. And so what I would do is I would make it so that all the cities are engaged in trade with each other. And when a city goes into ruin like that, when the leaders are killed, that city is no longer getting trade. And all of the players are benefiting in some way from that trade. And so, of course, that stops for them. So let's say you're making a certain amount of resources from Ironforge, Stormwind, and Darnassus. And they raid Darnassus and they kill Tyrande or whoever's the leader there. Then Darnassus goes into ruin until it's repaired back up, and all of the players in the Alliance are no longer making resources from trade from Darnassus.
Even the auction house is closed off.
Yeah, in Darnassus, yeah. And maybe even all of the auctions that are posted from Darnassus
Are off.
are not there anymore.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Make serious consequences so that people actually care. You know, they could, if Blizzard wanted to, they could go that route, and they could do it in a serious manner, not cheesy. Like the Elder Scrolls kind of do territory capture, but it seems kind of cheesy.
How do they do it?
It's like a battleground. It's like a large battleground.
Oh.
With like kind of fake siege battles and stuff like that.
I never played. Well, I played
I didn't either. I
Skyrim.
just watched it.
Is this the Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah. Yeah.
You followed Ark, right?
Ark.
Remember
Is that
that?
with the dinosaurs?
No. The Korean Diablo-esque game?
Nah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. That was supposed to come out.
Did it?
I don't believe so. But if there was another game to play, co-op, what would it be? Do you know?
Oh, you mean us play?
Yeah.
Huh.
Would you start another MMO?
No. God, no. Now that I'm playing WoW, I don't want to start anything that's like a... well, so I'm doing the other Let's Plays,
Yeah.
and those are going to be my primary time commitments outside of WoW,
Hmm.
in terms of gaming, content creation. Because especially something like Rome Total War is going to need a tremendous amount of play time to get through a single playthrough.
Hmm.
You know, dozens of hours. You know, could easily go. Let's say I'm doing 1 hour episodes.
Yeah.
A long campaign could easily run until like 100 episodes.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave Tuesdays for long form content, like strategy games that are gonna be really long campaigns, and Thursdays for shorter ones like Doom.
And then we had a great idea of watching Let's Plays and our reactions to it.
Reacting to Let's Plays?
Yeah.
Maybe.
What did you call it?
Oh, let's watch.
Let's watch. Yeah. Which,
You know what we should do?
yeah,
Do you like scary video games?
not particularly.
Do you get scared by them?
No.
No? Shit. Because I get super scared by scary video games.
When I'm watching them or playing them?
I would be proposing watching.
I don't know. There depends what video game it is, probably. If it's a jump scare, then yeah, I'm gonna be scared.
Fuck, hate jump scares. That's why I can't take horror, man. It's like, my heart can't handle it. I feel like my heart's gonna explode with every jump scare. Then my heart feels bad all day. Like, oh god, what have you done?
Yeah. I played Doom 3. The first time playing it, I really didn't. I couldn't beat it. I couldn't play it.
Is it too difficult or too scary?
A little too eerie for me.
Okay.
But the most recent time, beat it in a breeze.
Nice. I've heard that about the Doom 3. It was more of a horror game than a shooter.
Yeah, definitely was. But it was awesome. Doom 3. If that was on sale, I'd probably buy that.
Yeah, I have it.
Doom 3?
I tried to play it, I think. I didn't want to play it because it was scary and the graphics were terrible.
I have Doom 3, but it won't run in newer versions of Windows. That's a bummer.
It is. That's upsetting when really old games won't work anymore.
I have
I found a website, cnc.net. You can download Red Alert 1 for free.
Yeah, no.
Play it.
I found that one too.
That is an awesome game, and it still works.
Yeah.
It's probably like ported up, isn't it?
Ported up?
Meaning like they ported the game system for a new operating system.
Yeah.
Because there's no way it's still the original, right? Because that was running in like Windows 95
Yeah.
or
It wouldn't
98 maybe.
run on my computer.
Okay.
Well, that's 35 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Want to call this one?
Yeah, we can
Good
call
orbiting
this
podcast. Thank you everyone for listening. It's been Brian and Arman again for another podcast, which we don't have a name for.
Yep.
Yeah. So, take care. Have a good night. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.